Oh, 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 yada, 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 ay, yada, yada, ay, yada, 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 ya ya da 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 ya da 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 oh Good morning, Boker Tov. So yesterday I said I wasn't sick, but clearly that dry spot led to some sort of head cold. But anyway, I feel totally fine, just a little congested. Here we are, the sun is shining, there's like frosty ground. It is not windy, which is always a bonus, even though it's freezing. Although if you look at the forecast for the beginning of next week, then perhaps we'll be a little bit more complaining because, well, it's going to be high of in the teens and lows in the single digits. And I just don't feel like ready for that. Not that we ever really are. We just like to complain a lot because we're people. Hey, our people have been complaining since the time of Moses. So this week, we did a lot of learning. We did a lot of connecting. And we made it to Friday again, thank God. And we're moving toward the presidential inauguration as we begin this book of Exodus Shemot, in which we read that a king arose over Egypt. It says in the Parsha, a king who didn't even know Joseph. It's interesting, we all have our own political preference. And we all have our own trepidation about whoever's in office, no matter what it is, even if we voted for them. There's this sense of uncertainty. But that text couldn't be more true, that a new king arose over the land, and the king didn't even know the key players. And so often we feel like in leadership, in order to be a successful leader, you need to roll your sleeves up and be with the people and see what it is that they need, how to support them, how to grow, whatever that is. Like, what are they looking for? And many of us have this trepidation about what are the motives of the kings? What are the motives of the president, the vice president, the people, that are part of the governmental system? Do they know what humanity really needs? And even if they know what it needs, is it their mission to make that a reality? So the new king arose. He didn't really know empathy. He didn't really know about understanding or compassion. This new king arose and demonized others and ruled through a way of oppression and fear. We know this, the story of Pharaoh, the Jewish slaves, or they call it the Hebrew slaves, the Jews, and how they were treated. The book of Exodus also tells us that as this king took power, there was this idea or arousal of strong, courageous women who wouldn't be submissive or frightened into a state of submission. There are many among them, the midwives, which are Shifra and Puah, who were instructed by Pharaoh to kill all male children born to Jewish women. And with daring strength, they defied this horrific decree, and made sure that the children lived. Yocheved, at great risk, chose to bring new life into the world, and Moses was born. Miriam, so now we're already at number 4, Shifra and Puah, Yocheved, and Miriam. Miriam, undaunted, she didn't care. I mean, she cared probably, but she didn't follow the oppressive laws that were, and stood on the shore of the Sea of Reeds, or the river, as it were, and made sure that her brother would be safe. Pharaoh's daughter refused to let hatred or fear determine who she would be. She saved the life of a young Jewish boy and raised him to adulthood. In our time, a new leader has arisen. And with strength of all those that came before, and with promise of all those who will come after, we will rise as well. What is our choice? It brings me back to the same thing that I've said for the last 7.5 months. What is the choice? We have to get up. We have to rise against the adversity, against the anxiety, against the fear, against the worry, against the depression, against the oppression, against all that is against us. We get up. We rise as well. We don't let one leader determine our individual or collective outcome. We will be courageous and resilient. We will choose love. We will stand with dignity and grace, and with determination and imagination. And we, just as we always do, each and every day, we will act for the well-being of all life. We, all of humanity, not just the women, will be like the courageous leaders, like the regular people who stood up. Shifra and Puah, Yocheved, Miriam, Pharaoh's daughter. Because we are amongst those leaders. It's not just the king in the corner. It's all of us fighting for that which is the well-being of all life. As we enter the Shabbat of MLK Jr. Day, we think about leadership. We think about the ones that stand up for equality. The ones that my nephew said we were working on understanding what a mensch is. And so I asked him to give examples of who's a mensch at home, who's a mensch at school, and who's a mensch, who's a celebrity mensch. And Luca said, I know, I have one. And for the celebrity, it was Martin Luther King Jr., the doctor, the reverend. And I said, oh, really? Why? Knowing that he just learned about it, of course, because it was this week. And he said, well, he stood up for all the people, not just the black people and the white people. He wanted to know that one day everybody could get along together, could play together, could ride the bus together, could do anything that they needed to do together, not because one was black and one was white. And so this morning, when Ellis didn't do his homework last night, so we did it this morning, it was a Scholastic News for kindergarten, even though he's in preschool, whatever. This teacher just likes them, and I love them, so it's fine. The Scholastic News was about MLK also. And one of the questions on the back was something. He had to fill in the numbers on the calendar that were missing. You know, it's for grade level. It's for kindergarten. What day does Martin Luther King Jr. Day fall on? And there was another question. I said, well, I don't even know what this is about. Who is this person? And he said, Ima, somebody said that the black children can't go with the white children. And he said everybody could go together. I think that's smart. Because we can all be together. Even with the ones that we don't like. Even if the ones are different than us. Even if we think differently. Even if we own different things. It's about equality, but it's about individuality. That we are individuals that come together in a collective to make the beautiful tapestry of humanity. And it's frayed and it's torn and it's tattered and it's old and it needs refreshing. But we're not going to let changes in power, for the good or for the bad, tear that tapestry apart. No matter how hard it is, we will be courageous and resilient. We will choose love. We will stand with dignity and grace, determination and imagination, and act for the well-being of all life, just like Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. did. We can all be those leaders. Thank you for joining me this morning, Linda and Paula, Jennifer, Lisa, Suze, Bet. All of you are part of this collective that makes the world better each and every day. We are one human family, one heart of abundant love. We love you. And we'll see you back here tonight at 6:30 as we enter Shabbat together. Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael, Am Yisrael Chai. 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 Od Avinu Chai. Martine, you can go back as soon as I end this video and rewatch it. Just give it about 5 minutes. Have a great day, everybody. May the hostages be released. May it be for good for all people. Let's get our people back.